Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I'm Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Line Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'll be fighting a kill team battle between my Fallen, running them as Heretic Astartes, and Neil's Tyranids. So the story that we've got going on here is that this group of Fallen have discovered a space Hulk out in space, and have decided that they wanted to take it to get the information on there because it held a bunch of archaeotech from back during the Heresy era. So they decided to board it and gather the information. But as they boarded it, they found out that it was actually infested by Tyranids. So they have decided that they need to clear it out before they can get the information that they need. So that is the story that we've got going on here. We are going to be playing a modified mission, basically, where each of these objectives, one over here, one up over here, one back over here, and then one down on the ground over there. Each of those is going to be worth 3 points at the end of the game, and each kill that you get is worth 1 point at the end of the game. So that is essentially what we have, and then we deployed within an 8-inch squares in the back corner. So I just made it up. I figured it sounds good. It'll be fun. So that's what we're going to be doing. That is the story. That is the mission. Before we go any further, let's show you the two kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Fallen, I will be running with my kill team from left to right, an aspiring champion with a power sword and plasma pistol. We have a sniper specialist with a plasma gun. We have a combat specialist with a bolter. We have a zealot specialist with a bolter. We then have 2 more Chaos Space Marines with bolters and 1 Chaos Space Marine gunner with a melta-gun. And for the Tyranids, his kill team will consist of, from right to left in the back there, we have the leader with Death Spitter and Bone Swords. We then have a combat specialist who is a Gene Stealer there. We then have a warrior who is the veteran specialist with Bone Swords and Devour. And we have a heavy specialist with a venom cannon. And we have 5 termagants with flesh bores. All right, so those are the kill teams. Going over deployment here, I've got my sniper specialist back over here. I've got a regular guy with a bolter there, and then I've got my combat specialist up in front of him. I've got my guy with the melta-gun in the middle there. Down below here, I have my leader and a regular guy with a bolter. And then down over here, I've got my zealot specialist with the bolter. Going to deployment now for the Tyranids. He's got his heavy specialist up on top over here. He's got his combat specialist right over there. We've got a regular termagant there. Down on the next level, we've got a termagant, and we have his leader, who's back over here. Then we have down in the middle there, we've got another termagant, as well as his combat special. Oh, no. This is the veteran specialist, right? Veteran specialist down over here. And then on the bottom, we have an additional 2 termagants. So should be pretty good. So that is deployment. As of right now, we are now going to roll for initiative here for the first turn. So we both roll 2d6. I rolled a 9, my opponent rolled a 4, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Fallen here on turn 1. All right, so at the beginning of the first turn, I'm actually going to use Heretic Astartes' stratagem called Beseech the Gods. It's 2 command points. What I do is I choose a model. I roll a d6. On a 1, he's determined unworthy and suffers d3 mortal wounds. On anything else, he gets +1 to his hit rolls and his wound rolls for the rest of the battle. So I'm going to do it onto my guy with the melta-gun over here. So rolling on the d6 here, looking for anything but a 1. Oh, with a Phil face with emphasis. Woo! So he is going to be having +1 to his hits and wounds. All right, movement phase for the Fallen here on turn 1. My sniper specialist here readied himself. Everybody else just moved their movement closer over this way. So that's it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Tyranids. All right, movement phase. His heavy specialist readied himself. His leader over here readied himself. This termagant moved up here. This one advanced over here. This one down over this area, advanced. There's one that's inside the building over here. He just moved over there. His Gene Stealer up here advanced up to that point. And I think that is... Oh, and this guy down over here just stayed where he was. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will now come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so starting off, my sniper specialist here who is ready is going to fire into his pure strain up here. He's obscured and more than 12 inches away. So that means that I am going to be hitting on -2. So looking for a 5 to hit. Not going to supercharge. That is a hit with a Phil Furs. This is going to be strength 7, toughness 4. Looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP minus 5 up invul save because they just got an invul save. No, fails the invul save. So, well, first we have to find the injury roll. So he got an injury. So now we roll on the injury roll here with a 2. So he takes a flesh wound. Now, because he was hit within an inch of the of an edge there, he actually now has to roll to see if he falls. So anything but a 1. No, he's good to go. So he is just up there with a flesh wound. So now his heavy specialist is going to shoot into my robed guy over here. He has the venom cannon. He is within half range, but he is obscured over there. My opponent's also going to spend 1 command point on the heavy tactic, more bullets. So what's going to happen is this is a assault D3. So D3. 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. So he's going to have 2 shots here. These are going to be hitting on, he's got a 3+ ballistic skill, so obscured, right? Makes it a 4+. Oh, he's got a 4+ ballistic skill, so it's going to be +1, -1 because of the obscured, but no, so he's going to be looking for a 5 to hit.
Same beat.
Into the same guy. Getting 1 hit, strength.
4 wounds on the broadside.
Strength 8.
Okay, strength 8. Oh, snap. Okay.
-2 D3 wounds.
AP -2 D3, so it's going to be looking for a 2 to wound. No wound. He's going to spend his last command point there to re-roll that. Oh, into another 1. All right, his warrior down over here is going to fire across the way into my guy who is right over here. So he can see him across the way over here. So he has the... what does he have again? He's got the flesh boar, so he's going to have...
Devourer.
Oh, the devourer. He's got the devourer. So these are going to be... what's the range on that? 18 inches? So he's more than 9, so he's -1 for that, and he's obscured, so it's going to be looking for 6s to hit. No hits. All right, so now my Marine down here is going to be firing into his dude bro who's in the building there through the window. You can see him. He's less than 12 inches away, so that means that he is in half range. So his rapid fire bolter can fire 2 shots at regular ballistic skill, but he's obscured, so -1 from that. So 2 shots, looking for 4s. Getting 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 3, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is not a wound. All right, his Termagon here is going to fire into my dude bro over here on this floor here. So now he's going to be, he's at half range, but he's obscured, so he's going to be looking for a 5. No hit. All right, so now the guy in front here is going to fire into his heavy specialist. I've got the 1 shot. He is more than halfway, half distance, and he's obscured, so I'm looking for a 5 to hit. That is a hit with a fill face. Strength 4, toughness 5. Oh, toughness 4 on the warrior. So this is going to be looking for a 4 to wound. No wound there. All right, so then the Termagon in the side of the window there is going to shoot into my dude bro over here. He's going to be hitting on a 6 because he's more than halfway, and he's obscured. No hit. And then my other bolter bro here is going to fire into his heavy specialist, looking for a 5. That's a hit with a fill face, looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing. So yep, he's got a 4-up armor save. He's good. All right, so then my melter bro here is going to fire into his Termagant over here. He's within 6 inches, so he's half range. He is going to be having +1 because of Beseech the Gods, -1 because of being obscured, so looking for a 3 to hit. No hit. All right, so then my bolter bro down over here is going to fire into his Termagon, who is just around the corner over there. So he is going to be firing. He's within half range, so it's going to be 2 shots, obscured, hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Getting 1 wound. Regular save. On a Termagon there.
T-shirt.
No, fails that save. So now we have the injury roll. With a 4, he is out of action. All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. We have no fight phase because nobody charged. So now we have no morale test to take because he has one guy with a flesh wound, but he can't fail because there's only one guy that is out right now. So now we will roll for initiative for turn 2. So 2 dice. I roll a 5. My opponent rolls a 9. So we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids on turn 2.
That's what I always do.
All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 2. This guy, his heavy specialist readied, his leader readied, his veteran readied, his Termagant down on the bottom floor advanced up over this way. This Termagant moved. This Termagant moved. His Gene Stealer will be charging. We'll get to him in a second. And the Termagant down over here just readied himself. So the charge, he is going to be going down those stairs and across into both these guys, or just the one in the front? Did you want to do? Yeah, there's 2 guys there.
No. Oh, there's 2 guys there.
Yeah, there's 2 guys there.
Yeah, I'll take them both.
He's going to try to go into both. So I can't see him because he's up on the other floor there. So he needs an 8-inch charge to get in over here. So his 2d6 charge move. 7 inches is not quite in. You're going to spend a command point. All right. You have to reroll both dice because you reroll charge distances. Yeah. But he makes it with a 9-inch charge. So moving phase for the fallen here. My sniper specialist moved up here. He is stuck in combat. My bolter guy went over this way, up the stairs over to here. My leader actually advanced up over here. That is my melty guy. He moved up over that way. Then my bolter guy down over here moved to this pylon over here, looking on him. And then I had another guy who just moved up over this way. So that is going to be it for the fallen movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so his heavy specialist here is now going to start us off by firing into my dude bro up here. He is less than half range, but he is obscured. So he's going to have D3 shots here that are going to be coming in. All right, 1 shot. This is going to be hitting on a 5 because he's obscured. No hit.
Covered up.
All right, so the warrior down there is going to fire into my dude bro up here with the melty gun. So he's going to have this is with the Devourer. So it's going to be 3 shots, hitting on 5s because it's obscure, but no. All right, the Termagant down there is going to fire into my dude bro over here. So he's got his 1 shot. He's more than half range, but he's obscured, so looking for a 6. No hit. All right, so now his Termagant here is going to shoot into my Meltabro over here. He is going to be spending 1 command point for Scorch Bugs. So now he's going to get +1 to wound against him. He is less than half range, and he is also not obscured, so it's going to be hitting on a 4. No hit. All right, so now my plasma guy with the sniper specialist is going to shoot into his Termagant over here. He's less than half range, but he is obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots that are going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 2 fill faces, so that is pretty good. These are now going to be wounding on 2s. That is 2 wounds. AP is -3, so that's just going to go straight through. So it's going to be 1 damage each. So 1 damage. So we just have the 1 injury roll. And on a 5, he is out of action. All right, so now my bolter bro here is going to shoot into the Termagant in the building over there. He's less than half range for his bolter, but he is obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots. He's going to be hitting on 4s. Getting 1 hit. Looking for a 3 to wound. That is not a wound. All right, my Melta Bro there is going to shoot into his warrior down on the 2nd floor there. He is more than half range for his Melta-Gun, but he is also going to be unobscured, but he's got +1 because of Beseech the Gods, so he's going to be hitting on a 4. That is a hit. Strength 8, toughness 4, so looking for a 2 to wound. That is a wound. AP -4, so that's just going to go straight through. D6 wounds. 4 wounds, so that's going to take him down to, he has 3 wounds each, so he's dead, or he's got all his wounds are gone, so now we have an injury roll. Actually, we have, 1 second. All right, so it's 4 injury rolls because the damage was 4, so here we go, looking for above a 3. Yes, with the 3 fill faces. Wow, my dice are feeling good today, so he is dead. Bolter Bro up here is going to fire into his heavy specialist. 1 shot, hitting on a 5 because he's more than half range and obscured. That is not a hit. All right, so that's it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, I spent 2 command points to step in and attack with Decisive Strike with my dude bro here, my combat specialist into his combat specialist. So I have 2 attacks here, hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits with fill faces. These are going to be wounding on 4s. Getting 2 wounds. 2 5-up invul saves. Making 1, failing 1. So +1 to this roll because of him being wounded with his flesh wound. 2, so he takes a second flesh wound. All right, so now his dude bro is going to attack into me. He's got 3 attacks base, +1 because he's the combat specialist. So he's going to have 4 attacks. These are going to be hitting, though, on 5s because he's got -2 from that. Wow, that is how you respond to having 2 flesh wounds, sir. So that is going to be 4 hits. Holy cow. We'll come back to you with the wounds. All right, so these are going to be looking for 4s to wound. Getting 1 wound at AP -1. So looking for a 4-up save. No, I failed it. So I take a wound. So now an injury roll has to be rolled. 3, so he takes a flesh wound. All right, so that is going to be it for turn 2 here. We do have a nerve test to take because he is wounded over here. So he has 3 guys out of combat right now. They've got a leadership of 9, though. So, oh, no, he's good to go because 3 plus 9, 3 plus the 6 could possibly be a 9. He can't fail that. Can't fail it. So he is good to go still. So they are locked there. So that is going to be the end of turn 2. So now we roll for initiative for turn 3. My opponent rolls a 10, I roll a 5, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 3. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 3. This dude bro advanced across over here, down below the stairwells up this way. His heavy guy stayed still, readied himself. His leader moved up over this way. His Termagant in there readied himself. The guy over here, in this building over here, he readied himself. And his Gene Stealer over here stayed in combat. So that's it for the movement phase for the Tyranids. Come back to you with the movement phase for the Fallen. All right, movement phase for the Fallen. My Sniper Specialist readied himself. My Combat Specialist fell back out of combat with his Gene Stealer over there. My leader over here moved. My dude bro down over here readied himself. My guy over here, he was over here. He advanced down the stairway over here. And my guy that was up in here moved down over here to take a look at him. And last but not least, my Melta bro over there readied himself. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so now his heavy is going to start us off by shooting into my Melta bro here. He is going to spend 1 command point on more bullets. So he's got D3 plus 1 shots. Going to have 4 shots total here. So these are going to be he's less than half range, but obscured there. So he's going to be hitting on 5s. Getting 2 hits. These are strength 8, so looking for 2s to wound. Getting 2 wounds, AP -2, so looking for 5-up saves. Making 1, failing 1. That's all that mattered was that 1. It's D3 damage. It's going to be 2 damage, so 2 injury rolls.
You want 1 and 2.
It doesn't make a difference. And a 4 will take him out of combat. Oh, yeah. All right, so now my guy with the bolter here is going to fire into his Termagant over here. 2 shots, looking obscured, so looking for 4s to hit. Getting 1 hit. That's a wound. So 1 regular save.
Is it negative?
Negative, no, AP nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, AP nothing.
On a 6.
No, goes through. So injury roll. 1 takes a flesh wound. All right, so now my Sniper bro here is going to fire into his Pure Strain. Into his G Stealer over there. So he's got 2 shots at half range, but he is obscured down there. So it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s. Re-rolling 1s because of Sniper. All right, so that's not a hit. But 1 hit here, strength 7, looking for 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP doesn't make a difference, so he's got a 5-up invul save. He makes it. All right, so now his leader is going to shoot into my leader over here. He's got a Death Spitter, so it's going to be 3 shots, hitting on 5s because of him being obscured. That's 2 hits. These are now strength 5s, looking for 3s to wound. Getting 2 wounds. AP -1, so looking for 4-up saves. Making 1, failing 1. So the injury test. Ooh, actually, 1 second. All right, the injury roll. 2 takes a flesh wound. He's going to spend his command point to re-roll that. Into a 6, he's out of action. All right, so now his my guy down here is going to fire into his Termagon over there. Half range, but obscured, so looking for 4s. Getting 2 hits. Getting 2 wounds. 2 regular saves.
On 6s.
No, both go through, so injury roll. 4, he is out. All right, and that is it for the turn here on turn 3. Nobody has to take a test because I'm within an inch of a guy here, even though I lost 2 guys, so I can't fail my morale test here. And we realize that he has synapse on his warriors, so they're keeping everybody up there hunky dory. So at the end of the turn, going into turn 4 now, we now roll to see who has initiative. All right, I rolled a 9. My opponent rolled a 10, so we will come back to you after movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids here. His heavy guy readied himself, so did his leader over here. His Termagant, this one advanced up and over here onto the objective. And the guy over here readied himself. That's in the building. Now his Gene Stealer is going to charge into my 2 guys over here, who are going to fire Overwatch. So we're going to start with my Sniper Specialist here. He's going to be hitting on 6s. Rerolling 1s because he's a Sniper Specialist. Nope, back into a 1. And then the Bolter guy over there is going to fire. Not getting anything. Wow, those were really low rolls. So here comes his charge distance. Needs 3 inches to get into the front guy. Yeah, he is in. All right, moving phase for the Fallen. These guys are locked in combat. Both of these guys moved. One dropped down 6 inches over here. Another guy moved up over this way. So they are over there looking on that Termagant over here. And then finally, my guy right over here moved up so that he's within range of the objective, but still can shoot into him. So that's going to be it for the movement phase, so we'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so his leader's going to start us off by firing into the front Marine over here, who you can see there. So he's got 3 shots with his Death Spitter. These are going to be hitting on 5s because he's obscured, but less than half range. So it's going to be 1 hit. Strength 5, so looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP -1, so looking for a 4-up save. He's good. Woo! And now his Termagant there is going to shoot into my dude bro over here. So he's looking for a 6 because he's less than half range, but that's not going to hit. All right, so now my guy over here is going to shoot into his Termagant over there. Obviously half range. He is not obscured, so I'm looking for 3s. That's 2 hits. Looking for 3s. That is 1 wound. 1 6-up save. No, goes through. Injury roll. 4, he is out of action. And then my guy over there is now going to shoot into his leader over there. He is less than half range, but he is obscured, so looking for 4s. That is going to be 1 hit. The leader, because that's the one you can see. Yep. So that is 1 hit, looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. Regular save. No, goes through, so he takes a wound. All right, so because he was within an inch over there, he has to take a fall check. No, he's good to go. All right, so now my guy over here is going to shoot into his dude bro inside there. Less than half range, but he is obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots looking for 4s to hit. That is 2 hits, looking for 3s to wound. That is going to be 1 wound. 1 6-up save. No, goes through. Injury roll +1 and -1, so just straight up. It takes another flesh wound.
Kill me.
All right, so that is it for the shooting phase. Into the fight phase, I'm going to spend 2 command points to interrupt over here with my combat specialist. So he is going to fight in at first. So he's got 2 attacks because he's my combat specialist, hitting on 3s. That is 2 hits, wounding on 4s. Not getting anything. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll one of these. My last command point. No wound. All right, so now his Gene Stealer is going to attack. He's going to put 2 attacks into each. So we'll do the one into my combat specialist, who is currently has a flesh wound. So he's going to have 2 attacks here first for this one. These are going to be hitting on 5s because he's got because he has the 2 flesh wounds there. So it's going to be 2 attacks hitting on 5s. Getting 1 hit, wounding on wounding on a 4. That is not a wound. He's going to spend a command point to reroll it. That becomes a wound at AP -1, so looking for a 4-up. Yeah, with the Filthers! Woo! And now the 2 into my sniper over there. 2 shots hitting on 5s because of the flesh wounds. No hits. All right, so now my sniper specialist will attack into him with his one attack, his resounding one attack. That's a hit with a fill face. Looking for 4 to wound. That is not a wound. All right, so now that's the end of turn 4. At the end of turn 4, he has 5 guys out of action, which is more than half of his army. So he has to take a break test. So 2d6 looking for less than 9. Getting 9, which is fine. He's good to go. And nobody has to take any nerve tests because he's either in Synapse or I have a high enough leadership that we're good to go. So that's the end of turn 4. So at the end of turn 4, we now roll off to see if we go on to a turn 5. So rolling here, looking for a 3-up. Does. So we will come back. Now we will roll to see who has the initiative going into turn 5. I rolled a 4, my opponent rolled an 8, so we'll come back to you after the movement phase for the Tyranids here on turn 4. All right, movement phase for the Tyranids. His leader here was over there where the other warrior is, but he moved and advanced, and then spent 2 command points for metabolic process or metabolic overdrive, and then moved and advanced over here. And then, you have to roll the d6, right, for that?
Oh, yeah.
D6 on a 1, he might hurt himself. No, he's good to go. So then he metabolic processed, advanced back over here, so then he jumped up on top of this objective. This guy over here just advanced down over here onto that objective. He moved out over here, and his Gene Stealer stayed in combat. So that is it for movement phase for the Tyranids. We'll come back to you with the movement phase for the Fallen. All right, movement phase for the Fallen. Both of these guys fell back out of combat with the Gene Stealer over there. These 2 guys moved around over underneath here, so they're both on the objective, and then my guy over here just readied himself. So that is it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the shooting phase. All right, so now my guy over here is going to start us off with the shooting phase by shooting into that Termagant there. So 2 shots. These are going to be hitting on 3s because he is unobscured and he is obviously within half range. So that is 2 hits with fill faces. These are now going to be wounding on 3s. It's going to be 2 wounds, 2 regular saves. No, failed them. So +2 to this roll. 6, he is out of action. And then my guy over here can see his warrior up here. So it's going to be 2 shots because he's in half range. Hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Not getting anything. I'm going to spend my command point, the only one that I get this turn because I'm without a leader, to reroll one of those. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. All right, so that's the end of turn 4. No, turn 5. That's the end of turn 5. My opponent now has to roll to see if he is broken. Nope, 7. He is good to go. So nobody's broken. No one has to take any tests. So now we will just now roll to see if the game goes on to a turn 6 on a 4-up. No, it is over. So we'll come back to you with the score. All right, so at the end of the game, we each controlled 2 objectives. He controlled this one. He controlled that one. I controlled this one down here, as well as this one back here. And he killed 2 guys. I killed 6 guys. So it is a Fallen victory. So we will claim this, claim all the Archaeotech in this Space Hulk for our own to continue our nefarious plans that we have against the Imperium. So this was a lot of fun. I had a real blast playing on here and playing on this super awesome looking terrain that Neil built. He used the basis for the old Necromunda terrain, but he made it himself. He actually cut this out of metal sheeting and did a fantastic job painting it, making it look super fun and super sweet. And it was really cool playing on like the multi-levels with the gantries that you could go across. It was a ton of fun. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed it. I certainly have. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.